The implications of the severing of correspondent banking relations by U.S. banks with Caribbean-based banks will be among the major agenda items when Prime Minister Fundell Stewart and other CARICOM leaders meet in Belize from tomorrow. Brian Broom has more.
Correspondent banking relationships, especially with U.S.-based banks, have been in decline since late last year. Correspondent banking relationships are a Caribbean country's virtual umbilical cord to the international financial system. They allow for the conduct of international trade and investment by facilitating cross-border payments, as well as the receipt and sending of remittances through international wire transfers. They also help local exporters to receive payments for their goods and services, local businesses to pay for imports, and families to receive remittances. In a World Bank report in November last year, it was noted that small jurisdictions with significant offshore banking activities are particularly affected by the decline in correspondent banking relationships. It also noted that the Caribbean is most affected by the decline. When the CARICOM heads meet over the next 2 days, they will no doubt be reviewing some of the recommendations arising from the World Bank's report. Among them, for correspondent banks to consider the respondent bank's business when making their decision to end the relationship, and also considering the use of restrictions instead of outright termination. Ryan Broom for the Business Report.
Executive Director of the International Trade Center, Arantxa Gonzalez, recently participated in a roundtable meeting with stakeholders from a cross-section of sectors in Barbados. The discussion was hosted by the Barbados Coalition of Service Industries, or BCSI, at its Harbour Industrial Estate offices. Executive Director of the BCSI, Lisa Cummins, gave some insight into the meeting, which arose out of a request from the International Trade Center.
You and I both know in Barbados that typically there's a discussion about manufacturing performing better than agriculture, and agriculture not performing, and services driving the economy. And what we in the BCSI have been saying has been that services are actually very strongly inbuilt into every productive sector. And this discussion here today with the International Trade Center is based very much on that kind of thinking. The international community has been moving very quickly away from the silo-based sectoral approach, and they have been saying that there has been servicification of manufacturing. So what are the services that are being are serving as inputs into manufacturing that have an impact on their outputs in terms of competitiveness? So what are the services that are going into your agricultural sector, and how can improvements in the performance of those sectors then affect your outputs in those sectors? How can we improve overall performance in the economy on the basis of performance of the services sector?
Well, here's a look now at how stocks traded on selected exchanges across the region.